Hey guys, welcome back to Pinky Hooks. I'm your host, Shania Lancaster. Today I will be showing you how to make this blanket with Caron Latte Cakes, of course, as you can see from the thumbnail. I am calling this the waving flag blanket. Or should I say the shabby chic waving flag? How about that? Only because, as you can see, yes, it is mimicking our flag, red, white, and blue colors, but they're kind of washed out. And that's what I like. So you see these different tones of or shades of blue, and you kind of have a washed out red, and then it's almost like a light gray, versus like a stark white. So yeah, really, I told my coworker Andre, because this is for his baby boy, his baby is named Benjamin, and originally I was going to name this the baby Benjamin blanket, but I can't bypass the red, white, and blue. Anyway, as you guys know, I do work a lot with the Caron Latte Cakes, because I have a funny feeling that you guys were like me. When it first came out, you fell in love with it, and you probably did what I did. You went and you just bought everything there was, right? And then you got it home and said, uh-oh, how do I work with this? So I feel like it's my need to kind of show you. I have said before that when you're working with Caron Latte Cakes, don't do anything intricate as far as your stitches, because of the fuzz. It is hard to really show up. So I've always had to pick stitches where you got it to be like a 3D effect texture. And this time I was thinking to myself, okay, I don't want to really do a textured one. I want to do something where you can clearly just see some kind of visible pattern. And that brings me to the stitch that we will be working this blanket today. The stitch that I use is called the Long Wave Stich. And as you can see, okay, see, this is where the color changes, so it looks like that. But if you look let me zoom out here a little bit, you can see the waves. Like it makes these dips here and there. You see that? So it's not just straight lines. They're very subtle. There we go. That's more like it. They're very subtle waves. And I like it. I really, really like it. You know, how that worked up. Now, here's the thing. If you're worried about how you get those waves, this is what you need to know to be able to do this stitch. It is very, very easy. This is a 4-row repeat. The stitches that you need to know how to do are single crochets, half double crochets, double crochets, and treble crochets. That's the whole entire blanket, folks. That is the whole entire blanket. So the color that I use, here we go. You would think that this color would be called something that would sound like, oh, it's patriotic. Nope. It's the weirdest name. Let me see. It's called, let me see if my thing will focus. Because I saw it and I said, wait, what? What is this thing called? Frozen ginger. I'm so confused by this. It's called frozen ginger. So basically, this is the one color of Caron Latte Cakes that is very noticeable. I'm pretty sure that anybody who has latte cakes, you have all seen this color, because I have so many of this, because it was the one color that did not sell well. And what happened was I got a lot of it on clearance. Yep. So for this blanket, let me explain to you first. So I use 2 cakes just to make this blanket. And I'm going to see if we can zoom out so you can see the full size of this. You may not be able to. Let me see if I can get it all the way out. This probably is about as far as I can go out. And this is a good thing that I'm zooming out, so then you can actually see the different waves and how it does. Now, when my pattern actually, you see that right there? It is not a wave. It looks like it got interrupted. That's just because the color of the yarn changed, because we all know this is a self-striping type yarn. Anyway, I use 2 cakes. It measures in, the length was a little bit over 29 and the width of it is about 47 inches. So this is for a small baby. Well, Benjamin is he's considered a newborn. He is considered a newborn. And I want to acknowledge, because one of my subscribers, I think she subscribed to my channel. Someone had looked at one of the old blankets. I think one of the first Caron Latte Cakes that I did. And what they said was, nice blanket, but they was concerned. They were concerned. They wasn't trying to be facetious or anything, because they felt like Caron Latte Cakes is not for a baby. And the first two blankets that I did was by request. Now this one, it's not by request. I am gifting it. But what I did was check back with the previous people that I've made these blankets for, to see how it, how it gelled with baby, and no problems. So, I do appreciate feedback, because I would never want to make something for a baby and it be harmful to them. But I'm not sure, because I don't think the person had told me why they felt as though it's not for, I think they said something about the fuzz. And I'm not sure if it was because maybe baby might put it in his mouth, but so far, I haven't had any complaints or whatever. And I do let the parents see it. It's up to them whether they want to wait until their child becomes a toddler. But I'm assuming, just like, our regular yarns, that dyed yarns or whatever, that is pretty safe. I would never use a wool for a baby. This is not, and if you're not familiar with it and you're looking at it, yeah, it may look like wool, but anybody who has Caron Latte Cakes knows that it does not. I'm telling you, it's like butter. It is, the looks are deceiving. It does not, I repeat, come close in texture to wool. Never, 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 never that, right? So again, I used 2 cakes of this frozen ginger, which is just weird to me. Let me see. Each cake of this particular color has 530 yards. Can you see that? So I used 2 full cakes because it's a newborn. This is a bulky 5, and it does require, or is suggesting, that you use a K, and that's exactly the hook size that I used. So for this tutorial, for the sake of this tutorial, I am not going to use the Caron Latte Cakes, okay? I'm going to use a regular yarn to show you, like how to work that stitch, okay? And then you can do this in any color, of course. I have a couple of other latte cakes that I think this stitch, this wave, is going to show up really, really nice. So I plan on doing maybe 2 other colors in this stitch. I love this stitch, okay? So grab your yarn, whatever you want to do, and grab your hook size, and let's begin. Okay, so to do the long wave stitch, this stitch takes a multiple of 14s plus 2, okay? I did not count how many chains that I did for that blanket. So remember, because it has to take a multiple of 14 plus 2 at the end, if you want to do it the way I did it and you just want to do the 2 cakes, just measure your foundation chain to, like, I would say around 49, because then when you need to go back, or 48, and then you need to go back, you're trying to get your chain length to 47. That's basically what you're doing. But keep in mind that it needs to be in multiples of 14. So for the sake of this tutorial, so we can see the effects of the long wave stitch, I'm going to do a smaller version. What I want you to do is start your chain, and remember, you're going to do it in multiples of 14. And I'm using a self-striping yarn. Yes, it is all yellow, but it's different shades of yellow. And the reason why I'm doing that, because the long wave stitch is no good if you don't have either like an ombre color or multiple colors. Because if you do it in a solid color, you're not going to see it. You're not going to see it. The long wave stitch is totally based on the colors that are seen, so that you can see the colors basically flowing. Does that make sense? I hope so. So I'm going to get started, and I'm going to make my chain. I'm going to do 14. Well, I'll probably do maybe maybe 3 sets of 14. And then when you get your chain as long as you want it, done in multiples of 14, remember you're going to need to add 2 after you get your multiples, however multiples of 14 that you want done. Okay, so begin your chain and then meet me back here and we commence to start the pattern. So I did a total of 28, and now I'm going to add my 2, 1, 2. Okay, so this is my foundation. Okay, so for the first row we're going to skip 2 chains, which is going to count as 1 single crochet when you skip the 2 chains. Then we are going to do the first group. The long wave stitch is done into what they call groups. There's group and then there's the reversed group. All of that will make sense as we proceed. So we want to skip 2. So 1, 2, and then I'm going to do 1 single crochet into that third, because those 2 are counting as 1 single crochet. So right here in the third, I'm doing 1 single crochet. After I do that 1 single crochet, what I'm going to do is do 1/2 double crochet into the next 2 stitches. So you do a 1/2 double crochet by yarning over. Into the next 2 stitches, we're doing a 1/2 double crochet. You pull up a loop, you have 3, yarn over, and pull through all 3. That's a 1/2 double crochet. We want to do that again in the next stitch. Yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull through all 3. Now, in the next 2 stitches, you're going to do a double crochet. Yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. That is your double crochet. Yarn over again into the next stitch. You put in a double crochet. All right, so what do you think happens? In the next 3 stitches, we're going to put in a treble crochet. So that's yarn over twice into that next stitch, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through the first 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. That's your treble. We need to do that 2 more times. Yarn over 2 times, go into your next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the next 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. One more time, folks. Yarn over 2 times, go into that next stitch. And as we all know, this first row is kind of hard to do. You pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through your last 2. Now, what's happening is that, as you can see, that's what it's doing. It's like going up a little hill. You know, it reminds me of the little Price is Right show with the little Swiss guy, and he's going up the little hill, yodel-lady, hoo. You know that thing right there, right? So now, and then when you get up at the top, he falls over and then you lose the prize. Anyway, keep coming. I'm sorry, I had to throw some humor in there. All right, so basically now what we're going to do is we're going to mirror what we just did. So now, since you've done your 3 treble crochet, which is going to be the highest, you're going to go back down in size. That's how you're going to remember this. Okay. So what will be the next one? That goes back to a double crochet in the next 2 stitches, a double crochet, folks. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute, I did too much. Wait a minute. Sorry. Look, I shouldn't have told that joke. I got sidetracked. Okay, hold on. There's a stitch. We're doing a double crochet. So in, that's a double. Do it one more time. In the next stitch, you insert your hook. And yes, this is going to be hard for me right now because this yarn splits. But I was trying to figure out which yarn to pick to show you the wave. And so in the next two, you do a half double crochet. Ooh, I hope y'all pick a better yarn than me. Okay. Right? So after your half double crochets is the singles. So you will do in the next two stitches, or three stitches, I'm sorry, in the next three stitches, you're going to three. I said three, that's right. You do single crochets. So that's 1, 2, and now 3. You just did your first group. Okay? You see how that's shaped? It's kind of like a little oval DNA type, like a little DNA gene or something. I don't know what y'all want to call that, whatever. And now we're going to repeat that whole entire process again. So pull some more yarn. So we just got finished doing the 3 singles. So you will repeat. So after the singles is a half double crochet. You do 2 half double crochets in the next 2 stitches. So that's 1. That's 2. Now you will do 2 double crochets. That's 1. Trust me, I'll be able to move fast after I get off this first one, this first row. 2. And now for the trebles, right? And this is the cool part. Think a treble means 3. So that's how many you're actually going to do. You're going to do 3 treble crochets. So you have to yarn over twice, go into that next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through the last 2. You do this two more times, folks. I can't even talk. Okay, right here. One more time, yarn over 2 times, into the next stitch. And now we begin to go back down. So that's 2 double crochets into the next 2 stitches. Oh, my yarn split. Hold up. I think it twists. This is a double crochet. Here we go. Again, yarn over into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and now we do 2 half double crochets. Y'all know that's my favorite. Into the next 2 stitches, pull through all 3, yarn over, insert your hook, and pull through all 3. Now, this is how you know that you got the right stitches for your foundation, because you should be only left with 2. Why? Because we started the chain with 2 single crochets, and if you said, Cheyenne, we did 1. Remember, you skipped 2 chains to make the first single crochet, and then you did another single crochet. That was the very beginning. So now we know we're on track. I got the right numbers. So the last two, I'm doing one single crochet into those last two stitches. Shoo, that was the hard one. I'm trying to keep this because this is really delicate yarn, as you can see. So there we go. That's what it's supposed to look like. Do you see why I'm saying that you need different colors? Because yes, mine is yellow, but I have different, it's like an ombre yellow. So we're about to turn our work. When you get down to the end, you want to turn your work, and we're going to commence to do row 2. This is where this is why it works up fast, because row 2 is nothing but single crochets into every single stitch. So when you turn your work, you just want to chain 1, okay? And that counts as your first single crochet. You are going to skip that first stitch and then go into the next stitch. So your first stitch is right here. We're not going back into that. You're going to go into the next one and begin to work one single crochet all the way to the very end. You just one single crochet. One single crochet. And you guys might work faster than me because, like I said, I chose a yarn, shame on me, that I know is very delicate. It splits very, very easily. But sorry, it was the closest thing I had since I'm packing. I had to use what I could get my hands on without unpacking. So for this, I'm going to leave you guys because I know you guys are experienced enough. You don't need me for this row. So remember, you're going to do one single crochet into the top of every single stitch until you get to the end. And then we're going to meet back here so we can begin the third row, which is called the reverse group. Okay? It's easy peasy, folks. You're going to love it. All right, so I've put in one single crochet as my second row in every stitch. Now, this is so important, especially with the first row that we're doing, right? Or first 2 rows. You will not have to be so much concerned after this point. You see how you still got that little loop? Don't be fooled. You need to put a single crochet into that top of that very first single crochet below. Please do not miss that. You need that. If you can't get your hook in there, just put it through. But you need to make sure that you get that extra little stitch on the end. One single crochet on that end. Okay? And we are done with row 2. You want to turn your work, and now we're about to begin row 3, which is the reverse group. This time, instead of starting off with, 1 or 2 chains for a single crochet, you will begin with 4 chains. That will count as your first treble. So chain up 4, 1, 2, 3, and 4. That is your first, that counts as your treble. You want to skip this stitch and you're going to go into the next stitch with a treble. So yarn over 2 times, go into that next stitch, not this guy. Don't do that. Go right here, next door, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through your last 2. So why it's called, oh, wait a minute, hold up, did I? Oh, see, I skipped that one. Wait a minute, back up, folks. I couldn't even see, and I'm sorry, excuse me. Be patient with me because it's hard when I have to record because I'm looking down into the phone. So I'm going to skip that one. So here's the first stitch. Let me pull that apart. There's the first one. I was supposed to go in here. Let's do that again. Yarn over twice. Pull it apart if you need to. Go into this. This is the next stitch. Woo! Thank you, Lord. Yeah, because That would have been disastrous. I had to pull that all back out and come back down. All right, so you started off with 4 chains. That counts as 1 treble. Here's your next treble. And then you will go to what? A double crochet. So in the next 2 stitches, you're going to do 2 double crochets. And now the next 2 stitches you do 2 half double crochets. Which is yarn over and you insert your hook and you yarn over and you pull through all 3. Those are half double crochets. And now in the next 3 stitches, you put 3 single crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay, this is the reversed group. It is exactly what you did. It's just the way we started it. That's the only difference. Okay, so now since we got our 3 singles, you start going back uphill. So you want to do 2 half double crochets, 2 double crochets, and now we would do 3 treble crochets. Now, don't get confused. Yes, we did start with only 2, but as we start to go into the group, you go back to doing 3 treble crochets when you get to that point. So that's 3 times a treble crochet. So this is 1, this is 2, and 3. Okay, we have gone up the hill, now we need to come back down. So that's now 2 double crochets into the next 2 stitches. Now 2 half double crochets into the next 2 stitches. And now 3 single crochets into the next 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2, and 3. Begin again, going back up the hill. So we're going to do 2 half double crochets. So that's yarn over, pull up a loop, go through all 3. Another one, half double crochet. And now do 2 double crochets. So that's 1. Oh, I can't work through watching this camera. That's 1, 2. Okay, so if your chain and count is right, you should have 2 stitches left the way that I do. That means you are correct, because we're going to mimic how we started this row. We started with 2 treble crochets. You have 2 stitches left, and now you end with 2 treble crochets. So that's yarn over 2 times, go into this stitch, pull up a loop, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2. That's 1 treble. Do your last one into the top of that turning chain. Ooh, there we go. Voila, you are done row 3. Do y'all see why it's called the reverse group? Because what happens is that basically when you do row 2, which is the single crochets, you are separating it and getting it prepped to do exactly what you did previously, but in reverse. So now, of course, we are now on row 4, and row 4 is the easy part. That's when you turn your work, you chain up 1, skip this stitch right here, go into that next stitch, and put in 1 single crochet at the top of every single stitch, all the way to the end. This is the part, this is to me what makes the pattern go fast, because you get that break in between. So row 3, just like, not row 3, row 4, just like row 2, is the single crochets. So do 1 single crochet into the top of every stitch, and then meet me back here and we will begin row 5. We are almost at the end of row 4, and remember, I have 2 stitches left. That is my yarn splitting right there. So you should go ahead and do your single crochet at the top of the last 2 stitches, because I wanted to do these last 2 with you, so to make sure that you don't miss that end. Remember, this is the end. This is the end. This is the treble crochet below, so you want to do it into the top of that turning chain. I couldn't get my words together, folks. Go into that one and you do your last single crochet. Okay, that completes row 4. There you go. So if you have some colors, you can start to see the wave. So again, now we're going to turn. And basically, you're going back to group 1. And how you started group 1 was, we want to start with single crochet. So you're going to chain up 1. That counts as your first single crochet. Put in a single crochet into the next stitch. Next 2 stitches is a half double crochet. So 1 half double crochet by yarning over, pull up a loop, go through all 3. Do it again. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through all 3. That was 2 half double crochets. Now we need to do 2 double crochets by yarning over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2, and now do 3 treble crochets. Yarn over 2 times. We're going to do this into the next 3 stitches. That's 1. That's 2. And that's 3. All right, so basically I'm gonna put this in your head and let it stick. Remember, just like Price is Right, we was that little man, we was going up the Swiss Alps, and then he was like, oh, I got to the top and fell off. I'm sorry, y'all, that game kills me. So anyway, so now we want to go back downhill. So we're going to do 2 double crochets into the next 2 stitches. Man, I hope I don't aggravate y'all. Okay. And just another double crochet. 2 half double crochets into the next 2 stitches. And now, oops, see, I'll be ready to yarn over. And then 3 single crochets into the next 3 stitches. So that's 1, 2, 3. Let's go back uphill. So next 2 stitches, 2 half double crochets. That's 1, Ooh. 2. Come on. Now 2 double crochets into the next 2 stitches. And now 3 treble crochets into the next 3. Do y'all want me to yodel? I am going to yodel. Y'all might have to mute your TV if you don't want to hear me. Wait, I think my yarn split, y'all. Y'all like, that's what you get, Shia? We need to do it 2 more times. Yes. Love this yarn. It's oh, I might have to pull that out because that thing was mad at me. Hold on. That thing was mad. I can't do that one through the camera. Wait a minute. Because it's split. Yeah, this yarn is it's Lion Brands, and they don't do this one. It's a different kind of ice cream yarn. It's their cotton one, and it does not, it's beautiful, and I love to work with it. So I got 1, 2, 3 treble. Okay, now, yep, we yodel-ladied up the hill, and now we're about to fall off the cliff. We're going back down. So 2 double crochets in the next 2 stitches. Two half double crochets. 1. Oh, I hope I can get that. Wait a minute, something might be off with this one. Hold up. I think I missed the stitch. Wait a minute. Did I do 3? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So I should have. Hold up. Okay, see, this is what I'm talking about. That's how I know. Now, this is a good thing because I was just like, wait. After I did this second half double crochet, I should only have 2 stitches left to do my 2 singles. But that is a good indication, because if you get to the end and you know whatever last 2 that you need to put in, if you got 3 stitches left, and let's say because I need to end on these 2 single crochets, okay, somewhere I missed a stitch and I found it. I had to stop the camera. So what I went back through, I was just like, okay, I started all the way from here, and I was like, there's my treble, 3 trebles, 2 half, 1, 2. That's my 2 half double crochets. Then I see my singles, 1, 2, 3, right? Oh, can y'all see that? Okay. Then I was like 2 halves, 2 doubles, 1, 2, 3 trebles. And then I was just like, wait a minute, hold on. Okay, 2 doubles, 1, 2, 3 trebles. Okay, here's 1 half. Here's 1 double. Make sure I got that. I need to put in another double. I think that's right. Yeah, there we go. Because then I'll have 2 halves and then 2 singles. I had to go back because I was missing one. So 2 halves. There we go. Shoo. But this is why I like this stitch, because it will tell you the truth when you get to the end. And so now, as I should, have 2 left to do the single crochet at the end. That's what I'm supposed to have left. I shouldn't have had 3. Oh, and wait a minute. I went through. Hold on. There we go. 2 singles. So what I'm saying, folks, okay, and I'm glad that happened, is so when that happens, like I said, if you get to the end, right, remember your beginning and your end, however you started it, right, however you started, if you started it with 2 single crochets, that's how you're going to end that row, 2 single crochets. So if you have 3 stitches left, and you just completed your half double crochets, and you're like, wait, I shouldn't have to be ending it in 2 single crochets, then you know somewhere along the way you missed one of those sequences. Do y'all see what I'm saying? And this is why I actually like it. And now you see why I keep saying you really should do different color yarns, because Only when you do the different color yarns or self-striping yarn, I don't know how this is going to work out in a variegated yarn, will you begin to see the actual wave stitch. It's very subtle, but still noticeable. Y'all see what I'm saying? Okay. So now what do you think you're going to do? So you just repeated one group and that's all you're doing. So your next row is going to be your single crochet. So that's how the sequence goes. It's very, very simple. When you think about it, it is nothing hard about this. That's why I said if you are familiar with, you should know your single crochet, your half double crochet, your double crochet, and then your treble. And it goes in like a step order. All you're doing is going up and going down, up and down, up and down. That's it. And then you get that nice little rest in between every single row of single crochets. So now what's going to happen, of course, when we turn our work, we're doing the row where you're just doing single crochets. You will always turn and chain up one. You'll always skip that first one and proceed to do into the next stitch your single crochets all the way to the very end. And if you'll never get confused. So if you put your work down, right? Let's say you finish this row of single crochets and you put this work down and you come back and you be like, oh my God, I don't know which group I'm on. All you got to do is say, okay, the one below me, you can see that it was a single crochet. So you know that if you put this down after you do this row of single crochets, you're going to start your next row after you've done this one with the treble. Y'all feel me? You know, so basically that's the whole entire repeat. That's the whole repeat. All you're doing is going back and forth between two groups. That's all you're doing. And then in between the groups, you get a break and you do a single crochet. That's it, folks. That is the whole entire thing. I'm telling you right now, it is so easy. I didn't think I was going to be able to look at at TV or something. In the very beginning, before I really caught, all you're doing is just doing the groups reverse every other row. You can watch TV, you can listen to music. I don't know if y'all can talk and remember to do this at the same time, but you can, you know. So, and remember, and I know y'all see these spaces in here, but that's just because of the yarn that I'm using, and you know, I wasn't consistent with my gauge, but yeah, you see that wave? I love it. I love it. I think it's a very easy one. And you can just, yeah, I actually had fun working this stitch. And I hope that you do too. So again, that is basically the whole entire stitch blanket in a nutshell. Again, you don't have to do this in the Caron Latte Cakes, but if you do, and of course, this is only going to really benefit you if you are using a striped yarn, okay? So if you have the Caron Latte Cakes that are solid, you're not going to see this pattern. You're never going to see this pattern in any solid color. You need an ombre or a self-striped. And when we get off of camera, I'm probably going to work this in a variegated yarn just to see. I'm gonna do a little sample just to see what it looks like in a variegated yarn and see if I can actually see the waves. Who knows? So that's it, folks. I hope that y'all enjoyed this tutorial, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. The more likes we get, the more exposure the channel gets, and the more we can grow together as the Pinky Group family, okay? Also, I would like for you to consider subscribing to my channel. This is probably going to be one of my last tutorial, folks, before I move. I am moving, and that's why I had to get this in, because it may be a couple of weeks before you see me. Fingers crossed, I hope that's not the case. And also, I want to say thank you for my new subscribers. Stay tuned, folks, for the end of this video, because I have a little bonus to show you. If you remember when I crocheted the 4th of July video, there was the dresses for the twins. Andre gave me his he gave me his blessing that I was allowed to show his babies on my channel, and I want you to see what they look like with those dresses. So stay tuned, folks. Take care of yourselves, and I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments what y'all think about this, and let me know if you try it. And if you do this, please feel free to post. My Instagram link is in my channel. Go ahead and post and show me what you did. Until next time, folks, be blessed. Take care. Bye-bye.